Hello students, today we are going to take up a very interesting topic, that is converting speech in comics and graphic novels. But before taking up this topic, I would like to have a quick recap of the various types of sentences that are based on function, and these are namely 4 types. First of all, declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, third one, imperative sentences, and the last one, exclamatory sentences. In the previous videos, we have talked about the various rules of transforming these 3 types of sentences into reported speech, and today we are going to take up the rules of converting exclamatory sentences into reported speech. But before starting and talking about the rules, let me tell you what are exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences are those sentences that express great emotions like joy, wonder, surprise, or maybe sorrow. For example, what a beautiful flower it is. It is an example of exclamatory sentence, and today we are going to talk about the rules of converting such sentences into reported speech. So let's talk about the rules first. The first and the foremost rule is that we have to remove the exclamation mark that we find in exclamatory sentences, and then it becomes a statement. We have to replace the exclamation mark into a full stop, and finally the exclamatory sentence, it becomes a statement when we change it into reported speech. So let's have a look at the example now. She said, "What a beautiful day." When it is changed to reported speech, it becomes like this. She said, "It was a beautiful day." So here we have replaced this exclamation mark with a full stop. Now talking about the next rule, we have to change the reporting verb. We have to replace verbs like said or told with something more appropriate like exclaimed, cried, shouted, remarked, said with joy, sorrow, wonder, depending on the emotion that is being conveyed in that particular exclamatory sentence. For example, he said, "How terrible the accident was." And in reported speech, it becomes like this. He exclaimed that the accident had been terrible. So we have replaced said with exclaimed in reported speech. Now talking about the next rule, we have to change the sentence structure. The exclamatory sentence usually turns into a statement in reported speech. For example, interjections and emotion words like hurrah, alas, oh are absolutely omitted, but the sentiment behind that statement is conveyed by using expressions as exclaimed with joy, exclaimed with sorrow, etc. She said, "Alas, he is gone." And when we are reporting this exclamatory sentence, it becomes like this. She exclaimed with sorrow that he was gone. So in this, the emotion word alas has been completely omitted when we are changing it into reported speech. Moving ahead, we have to follow standard reported speech rules. That is, we have to apply the usual changes in tense. That is, we change the simple present tense into simple past. So whatever is the present tense, we have to change it to its corresponding past in the exclamatory sentences. Pronouns change accordingly. And yes, time and place references also change accordingly, as we have discussed in case of imperative sentences, interrogative as well as statements. That rule remains the same. So let's see the example for this. He said, "Hurrah, we won the match." So it becomes like this. He exclaimed with joy that they had won the match. In this, we pronoun changes to they, and won, that is simple past, changes to past perfect, and we write had won the match. So let's have a quick recap of these rules that we have discussed. First of all, we have to remove the exclamation mark. Second, we have to change the reporting verb. Next, we have to change the sentence structure. And last, we have to follow standard reported speech rules. Now, I'm going to show you certain examples. When we are changing exclamatory sentences, there are certain changes because we have sentences, exclamatory sentences that may begin with what or how, and also they may begin without what or how. That means they may use certain interjections. So let me elaborate more on this. First of all, with what or how. For example, she said, "What a beautiful dress." So mind you students, in this what doesn't mean it's an interrogative sentence, it's an exclamatory sentence. Though it starts with what, and it will become like this in reported speech. She exclaimed that it was a beautiful dress. Second sentence, he said, "How lucky I am." Again in this exclamatory sentence begins with how, but this is not a question. This is an exclamatory sentence. He exclaimed that he was very lucky. Now moving ahead to second type of exclamatory sentence, that is without what or how, with just interjections. He said, "Alas, I failed the test." In this, we are using these strong emotions and interjections like alas, but we are going to omit this word when we are going to change it into reported speech, and it becomes like this. He exclaimed with sorrow that he had failed the test. So corresponding present tense changes to corresponding past tense. She said, "Hurrah, we won the match." And it becomes like this. She exclaimed with joy that they had won the match. Now it's time for practice. So whatever we have learnt in today's class, I'm going to give you one example and let's practice this. The man said, "Alas, I have lost my purse." So take out your notebook and start attempting this answer. And I hope you got it right. The answer is, the man exclaimed with sorrow that he had lost his purse. In this, I changes to he and have lost changes to had lost, and again my changes to his according to the context of the sentence. Moving ahead with second practice question. The candidate said, "How difficult the problem is." So it's not a question, it's an exclamatory sentence, and the answer is, the candidate exclaimed with disapproval that the problem was very difficult. I hope students, you have understood and also practiced these questions of changing exclamatory sentences into reported speech. I'm hoping that you are thorough with these rules now, and now coming to the most fascinating aspect of the video, that is a task time. I've got a few sentences for you and you have to change these exclamatory sentences into reported speech. I'm sure you're going to easily attempt these questions and master this art of changing exclamatory sentences into reported speech. We'll meet in another video, something interesting to teach you and interact with you. Thank you.